Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs MCQs program. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was, consider the following statements about the tardigrades. 1. They are tiny creatures called as water bears, making up more than 50% of all tardigrade species. 2. Tardigrades have adapted to environmental stress by undergoing a process known as cryptobiosis. Which of the above statements is or are not correct? Only one, only two, both one and two, or neither one nor two. The correct answer is option A, only one. Tardigrades. These tiny creatures, often called water bears, are microscopic wonders, and marine tardigrades make up 17% of all tardigrade species known to us, and they inhabit every ocean. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Tardigrades have adapted to environmental stress by undergoing a process known as cryptobiosis. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Cryptobiosis is defined as a state in which metabolic activities come to a reversible standstill. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Now, let's begin today's session. First question is, consider the following statements about the International Energy Agency. 1. It is an autonomous intergovernmental organization established in Paris. 2. A candidate country to the IEA must not be a member country of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. 3. It was established in the wake of the oil crisis of 1973 to 1974 to help its members respond to major disruptions in oil supply. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. International Energy Agency, that is IEA, is an autonomous intergovernmental organization established in 1974 in Paris, France, and mainly focuses on its energy policies, which include economic development, energy security, and environmental protection. Hence, statement 1 is correct. A candidate country to the IEA must be a member country of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Established in the wake of the oil crisis of 1973 to 1974 to help its members respond to major disruptions in oil supply. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements about the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. 1. It is introduced by the Ministry of Housing Affairs. 2. It is a flagship scheme aimed at making clean cooking fuel such as LPG available to the rural deprived households that were using traditional cooking fuels. 3. The beneficiaries also receive a subsidy on the first 6 refills of 14.2 kg cylinders or 8 refills of 5 kg cylinders. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none? The correct answer is option B, only two. The Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas introduced the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, that is PMUY. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. It is a flagship scheme with the objective of making clean cooking fuels such as LPG available to the rural and deprived households that were otherwise using traditional cooking fuels such as firewood, coal, cow dung cakes, etc. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The beneficiaries also receive a subsidy on the first 6 refills of 14.2 kg cylinders or 8 refills of 5 kg cylinders. Hence, statement 3 is correct. The beneficiaries can opt for an EMI facility to pay for the cost of the stove and the first refill. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, which of the following development institutions within the World Bank Group is India not a member of? International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Development Association, International Finance Corporation, or International Center for the Settlement of Investment Disputes? The correct answer is option D, International Center for the Settlement of Investment Disputes. The World Bank was created in 1944 as the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development along with the IMF. The IBRD later became the World Bank. The World Bank Group is a unique global partnership of 5 institutions working for sustainable solutions that reduce poverty and build shared prosperity in developing countries. India is a member of the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the International Development Association, the International Finance Corporation, and the Multilateral Guarantee Agency within the World Bank Group. However, India is not a member of the International Center for the Settlement of Investment Disputes. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Now moving on to next question. Flirt, a term recently seen in the news, is most closely related to which of the following? a new subvariant of the coronavirus, a technology for developing electric vehicle batteries, a strain of bacteria resistant to antibiotics, or a type of financial instrument used in stock trading? The correct answer is option A, a new subvariant of the coronavirus. Flirt is a new variant within the Omicron JN.1 lineage. It has been detected in the US and is rapidly spreading. This variant shows significant alterations in spike protein structure and increased resistance to existing vaccines. Its symptoms are similar to Omicron, including sore throat, cough, congestion, tiredness, headache, muscle or body aches, runny nose, fevers or chills, loss of smell and taste, and breathlessness in extreme cases. It is highly transmissible and can spread via respiratory droplets or touching infected surfaces. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements. 1. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation aims to highlight racism, discrimination, and inequality experienced by Black people. 2. Its demands for equality also include mental health, the LGBT community, and voting rights. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation is a global organization in the US, UK, and Canada which aims to highlight racism, discrimination, and inequality experienced by Black people and eradicate white supremacy. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Among its main goals are stopping police brutality and fighting for courts to treat Black people equally. Its demands for equality also include mental health, the LGBT community, and voting rights. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, which of the following are the possible applications of generative AI? 1. Implementing chatbots for customer service. 2. Optimizing new chip designs. 3. Creating photorealistic art in a particular style. 4. Suggesting new drug compounds to test. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. 1, 2, and 3 only, 2, 3, and 4 only, 1, 4, and 5 only, or 1, 2, 3, and 4. The correct answer is option D, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Generative AI can be applied in various use cases to generate virtually any kind of content. Some of the use cases for generative AI include the following: implementing chatbots for customer service and technical support, optimizing new chip designs, creating photorealistic art in a particular style, suggesting new drug compounds to test, designing physical products and buildings, and deploying deepfakes for mimicking people or even specific individuals. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Now moving on to next question. Regarding the floor test, that is trust vote, consider the following statements. 1. A floor test is held in legislative bodies to find out whether the government still retains the confidence of the House. 2. Even when the assembly is not in session, the speaker retains the right to call for a floor test. 3. The composite floor test is conducted only when more than one person stakes a claim to form the government. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none? The correct answer is option B, only 2. A floor test, also called a trust vote, is held in legislative bodies to find out whether the government that is suspected to have lost the majority still retains the confidence of the House. Hence, statement 1 is correct. When the House is in session, it is the Speaker who can call for a floor test. But when the Assembly is not in session, the Governor's residuary powers under Article 163 allow him to call for a floor test. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The composite floor test is conducted only when more than one person stakes a claim to form the government. When the majority is not clear, the governor might call for a special session to see who has the majority. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. Double deflation is the conceptually preferred method of computing real value added to an industry. Statement 2. Double deflation requires relatively more assumptions about the relationships among gross output and intermediate inputs. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? Both statements are correct and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. Both statements are correct and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. Statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect, or statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. The correct answer is option C. Statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. Double deflation is the technique used to estimate real value added to an industry. In the double deflation method, real value added is measured as the difference between real gross output and real intermediate inputs. Double deflation is the conceptually preferred method of computing real value added because it requires fewer assumptions about the relationships among gross output and intermediate inputs. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements best describes oligopolistic competition? It is a market structure characterized by many firms producing identical products with no barriers to entry. It is a market structure with only one firm dominating the market, leading to complete control over prices. It is a market structure characterized by a few large firms dominating the market, each having the ability to influence prices. Or it is a market structure where there is intense competition among numerous small firms, each producing slightly differentiated products. The correct answer is option C. It is a market structure characterized by a few large firms dominating the market, each having the ability to influence prices. An oligopolistic market is a market dominated by a few large and interdependent firms. These firms have significant market power, meaning they can influence prices and output levels. There is a significant amount of interdependence, meaning that these firms will monitor each other's prices and output and adjust accordingly. Some of the barriers to entry that prevent new players from entering the market in an oligopoly include economies of scale, regulatory barriers, accessing supply and distribution channels, capital requirements, and brand loyalty. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Last question is, which of the following statements is or are correct? 1. India spent only around 2% of its GDP on research and development in 2020-21. 2. In India, the R&D spending is driven only by the central government followed by the state governments during 2020-21. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. That is, both the statements are incorrect. India's gross domestic expenditure on R&D as percentage of GDP remained at 0.64% during 2020-21. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Gross domestic expenditure on R&D is mainly driven by central government, private sector industry 36.4%, higher education 8.8%, state governments 6.7%, and public sector industry 4.4% during 2020-21. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Now is the time for practice question. Consider the following statements about direct taxes. 1. Direct taxes are directly paid by those on whom it is imposed. 2. Direct taxes are imposed on the basis of individuals' ability to pay principal. 3 examples of direct taxes include excise duties on fuel, liquor, and cigarettes, as well as a value-added tax. 4. Income tax is collected both as personal income tax and corporation tax. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.